So, boys, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of TC Sports. I am the substitute host for tonight, Aaron Klinker, alongside my good buddy Andrew Schultz. Andrew, how are you feeling?
I'm tired. Just got off of work, but it's Super Bowl week, so that's exciting.
Obviously, as you can see, we have the two of us, due
And
to our good buddy Butson being so busy with his student teaching job and everything in between. So we are giving him another episode off because we love him that much.
that we do.
That we
And
do.
it's also 2 weeks since we last recorded because
Exactly.
nothing really happened in
Not
sports.
really. And speaking of sports, Andrew, why don't we jump into our first topic for the night? What do we think of championship game weekend?
Championship game weekend was good. I may get some flack for this, but the NFL is not rigged. Okay, you can't blame referee incompetence for rigging games. Now, going over the Kansas City situation, yes, they did get two third downs, but guess what? It didn't amount to anything. They didn't score on that drive. They punted the ball back to Cincinnati. Cincinnati then has an opportunity to go down, score, win the game. Joe Burrow throws an interception. That's not the ref's fault for him throwing an interception. Now, Kansas City drives back, and if you break down the play where Mahomes runs and gets pushed out of bounds, yeah, there's probably some holds there. Guess what? There's holding on every single play of football, and they really weren't calling those all night. They let both teams play, I thought. Um, the out of bounds penalty, you just can't have that. And I still think, let's say they do call holding there, penalties offset. Chiefs
Yeah.
for like a quick 5, 7 yard out. If that gets completed, they're well within Butker's range. He maybe still hits it, and you still lose by a game-winning field goal from Butker. So Cincinnati fans, I know you think it might be rigged or whatever, or the refs are out to get you. As a Lions fan, believe me, I've been there. Dallas Cowboys Lions playoff game where it was a clear pass interference, but the refs picked the flag up. But the NFL definitely has a referee problem, and there's definitely steps they can take to address that. And I sure hope they do in this offseason. Um, and then 49ers, Eagles. I guess we'll never know.
Ah, ah, ah. Uh, let's just say the Eagles, bang bang Niner gang.
I mean, you could
Let's
say, oh, if we had Brock Purdy, we would have won the game, but I guess we'll never know. And you can't blame, you can't short the Eagles for winning because Purdy got hurt. Because guess what? They kind of caused Purdy to get hurt. They got to him,
no, yeah.
hit his elbow. It happens. Happened with Josh Allen too earlier in this year. Happened with Mike White, I believe, last year against the Colts. Obviously, this is a bit of a different injury than that, but it's football. It happens. Eagles are a tough team. I think the Super Bowl, I think both one seeds coming out. I don't think it's the result fans really wanted. If you went into the playoffs, I think it would have been really cool to see different teams. But the best teams got there, and that is what it is. And I think it'll be a fun Super Bowl.
I just want to say this about the Bengals Kansas City game, kind of like what you said about the whole refs thing. Like, yeah, let's be real for a second. Those penalties, yes, they would have been offsetted. Yes, there was that was blatant holding on that Mahomes run. Should they have called it? Probably, but it would have canceled out. However, I remember watching that. Like at first, I was pissed because I wanted the Bengals to win because you know
You live
it's not often I get to see the team that the city that I live in go to the Super Bowl. Like I grew up near Kansas City for 12 and a half years and they made the playoffs maybe once. And then as soon as I leave, they win the World Series and the Super Bowl. So you're welcome, Kansas City fans. But there's really nothing you can do about it. The Bengals did shoot themselves in the foot several
plenty of
times.
The refs
And
are not the reason Burrow threw 2 interceptions. That's unlike Burrow, so you have to give props to Kansas City's defense for that.
yeah, Burrow, he definitely had some turnover problems earlier in the season, but once he kind of settled in and realized, okay, we can't just go for the home run play every game, because that's what the Bengals regressed back to. They started to panic. They started to kind of just, they're like, oh God, F it, Jamar down there somewhere, which it did work once. I'll give him that. On that one really long
That
third
was
down.
incredible. That was an incredible play by
Oh
Jamar.
yeah.
It
Oh
was
yeah. But bottom line, this was bound to happen to the Bengals, I feel like, and this could shape up to be the next Manning Brady rivalry, possibly, or something close to that. Possibly, the key
I
word
think it's
there.
going to be really fun in the AFC with all the great quarterbacks they have. But here's an interesting thing. You have all these great quarterbacks in the AFC, and everyone says, oh, the AFC is so good. The NFC might win the Super Bowl for the third straight year.
Yeah. Like, yes, the NFC might not have we don't have um we don't have Breeze or Eli Manning, which say what you will about him. Dude won 2 Super
Hey,
Bowls.
we still
Come
got
on
Nick
now.
Foles. He's still. Oh wait, no, he's on the
No,
Colts.
he changed sides. He switched up on us. We have, and that's another thing I'm gonna bring up here a little bit. You got Hurts, you got Cousins, you got Goff, you got Brock Purdy, which the jury's still out on him.
I
You
think
got
I think Purdy's a legit starter. You can't say he's not at this point. He's a legit starter.
I want to see Trey Lance fully healthy in that offense for more than a game and a half.
But you can say other teams aren't going to look at Brock Purdy and be like, "Hey, we could use a guy like that." Like if I'm the Jets, and let's say I miss out on the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, or I miss out on Derek Carr, or if I
Lamar
miss,
Jackson.
why not be like, "Hey, like, what's the offer on Purdy?" Because like, yeah,
Or
he's going to be hurt, and he's going to be out, I think, for the first month or two of the next season. I think that's the timeline. But like that's I think Purdy's a franchise quarterback. He played in a tough situation. He's coming in, he's the third guy. It's clutch time, so you have to perform at your highest level. It's not like he didn't slip up once in the playoffs, I thought. Like I think Brock Purdy is a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL.
look, I'm not gonna discredit Purdy for what he has done. That's not my thing. My concern is this was this a one hit wonder? Is he gonna come out next year? Obviously, okay, maybe say he. Okay, hold on. Let me reword that.
I think I know where you're going. I think you're saying like what if he's like just a 1 year wonder, he comes out next year, his elbow's not the same. Um
and that wouldn't be his
could be.
fault.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, no.
But I think if Purdy comes back healthy, he's a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL, and he proved it. And now if it pressure's on Trey Lance now because you saw what your backup just did, and they gave a whole bunch to you. Like they're gonna if you don't perform, if Trey Lance doesn't perform, pressure's all on Trey Lance now. I think because now they
What
can
I
go,
do
hey, we don't need Jimmy G. If you don't get us there, we know Brock will do it.
what I do want to see with Trey Lance is because yes, the game against Chicago, I think that was an outlier because it's really hard to win in a monsoon. Let's be real. Like
Yeah,
I consider
and cold
I
refused.
consider that game kind of an outlier, but I don't. What was it against Seattle when he got hurt? He had a couple really good throws before he did hurt his what was it, his ankle, his foot, something like
Yeah,
that.
it was I think he broke his ankle or something.
Yeah.
I think a broken ankle. I think that's the official injury. If I
So
remember.
like
It was a long time ago.
assuming he comes back healthy, I want to see what he's got in like obviously not like a dome or anything like that, but I want to see what he's got in pretty
A
decent
normal
weather
game. A normal
for,
game.
to
Just
get
give
like
us
a full analysis of him because I saw flashes from him when he played a couple times when I think Jimmy was out with COVID or something. I saw flashes. I saw flashes of a really, really good dynamic quarterback that can play in this league. But like you said, if he doesn't perform, how he's expected to, hey Brock, you're up. And I'm not saying Trey is going to go into the season as a starter, but that is also going to be something else to watch. But that's besides the point. um, what was I going to say? Oh, obviously, as we all know, Tom Brady retired last Wednesday. We don't know if it's for sure or not. I think it is just because he
I
announced it
think he's
himself.
actually done for good this time. I think, he's like, I'm really done because I don't think he wants to get to the point where he's like, I don't want to go be on a team that's 6-10. Like the Buccaneers were injured to crap this year, and he went 8-9. But I don't think he wants to leave his legacy as this guy fell off the mountain,
Hmm.
as or which Max Keller probably has been waiting for. Kellerman has been waiting for 7 years now. Um,
He said it
Drafting
every
Tom
single
Brady,
year.
what an amazing career. I don't think he's the greatest of all time, quarterback wise, because I don't think you can have a greatest of all time because football has changed so much. Definitely the most accomplished. I don't. I think he'll be like Jordan, where he probably won't ever have some of his records beaten. Um, he did all the little things right, which made him win a lot. So
He also had a lot of grit. um, Honestly, I don't think we're ever gonna see another quarterback like Tom Brady. And by what I just hear me out on this
I don't
one.
think we'll see a resume like Tom Brady has left with.
That and I just we are so like far ahead of the just stand in the pocket and throw a dart. Like you look at guys like obviously Lamar Jackson of this generation at least, like guys like Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham, all those guys walked so Lamar Jackson could run, and Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. Like we have officially entered a new age of quarterbacks. Like it's not just the league's in good hands now. Like no, it's like their league now. Like they're the quote unquote faces of the
I mean,
league.
the oldest player in the AFC playoffs this year was Patrick Mahomes, and I think he's 27, right?
Mm-hmm.
27.
Yep, he's 27.
And in
But
the
like
NFC,
the last of our generation of quarterbacks is Aaron Rodgers, and I never thought he'd be the last one.
you take out Tom Brady in the NFC. Jalen Hurts is on his rookie deal. Brock Purdy, rookie. Dak Prescott, younger than 30, I still believe.
He's 28, I want to
28,
say.
yeah.
Yeah, wait, no.
Gino's 32. Kirk Cousins is 30s now.
Yeah, I know he's coming up on his mid 30s. I'm scared.
And then Daniel Jones is still on his rookie deal. And Daniel Jones had a huge improvement.
Oh
Shout out
yeah.
to Daniel Jones for improving. Dable did wonders with him. It'll be exciting to see what they do next year. So I mean, the NFC's got some young guys coming up. I mean, I know I'm the Lions fan, so I'm talking about the Lions here. But the Lions' oldest player was Jared Goff. I think this year. I think it was Jared Goff
Yeah.
and Taylor Decker are the oldest players on the Lions, offensively at least. I think we still have one old guy on our defense. I think it's Brockers. I think he's 30. I think he's still on the team. But I mean, you look at the league and it's just gonna kind of trend upward, I think, in terms of skill positions being better than they've
Young talent.
been. And I think a lot of records are bound to be broken here in the next few years, which is crazy.
That's another thing. This is way down the line, obviously, in terms of like Brady's passing records, but do you think anyone of the current day quarterbacks right now, do you think any of them are gonna break that record?
Passing yard record?
Yeah, passing yard, passing
Currently, I
touchdowns
think
I could see.
Patrick
Maybe.
Mahomes is on pace to, I think, right? I think Mahomes is on pace to. I think he's on pace to shatter it, actually.
I will take
If,
your word
if
for
he
that.
plays a
That I
20-year
believe.
career, that is. And I think we've seen from Patrick Mahomes where he can be a pocket passer. That's
Hmm.
the thing about these mobile guys is some of them can actually just sit there in the pocket and pass. Like Mahomes had
Yeah.
bum ankle, and he's probably like showing how good of a pocket passer he is. I mean, we still got guys like Burrow. He doesn't run much, but when he can,
He is
he,
able to run like that. That's what I meant by like moving away from the pocket
yeah,
passers.
we
Yeah.
don't have a Tom Brady, Peyton Manning style quarterback that never runs, or if they're gonna run, it's gonna be because the defense is playing man up three deep, and he has a free 15 yards of grass before him, and he gets 7 or 8 before someone gets to him.
Hmm.
I mean, like Burrow, I think the Chiefs learned. I think they started spying him, or they kept like a shallow zone because he kept torching them. So I mean, I think the league is definitely athletes are being athletes now. I don't think they're being forced to play positions like wide receiver, running back, tight end. Like I think we're into the era where anybody can be a quarterback if they want to be a quarterback.
Oh yeah. Um. Yeah. I like I said. We are officially in that new era of quarterbacks. I mean, yeah, Rodgers is
It's
still in the
exciting.
league.
I think it's
But
exciting.
I'm excited. It's kind of sad to see some of the guys that we grew up watching retire. That's probably how our parents felt with Montana and Marino and all them.
I mean, that's just part of football. Like
Yeah.
like we didn't expect them to stop playing at once. Yeah, it'll be like, oh, I remember all these players, but I think it's so much more exciting to look at the future of football. And
Oh
I think
yeah.
to get the refs together, I think we're going to enter probably the golden age of football. If
Yeah,
they don't if they don't introduce dumb rules like this hip drop rule that they're thinking about making a penalty, the hip drop tackle. So it's that tackle where they like kind of come over the top and then they drag and pull them down and you drop your hip on like the guy's leg. Like it's just a technique. This is your standard technique tackle. Everybody does it. Because guess what? That's how you tackle and they're thinking
that's
about
how you're taught. That's how you're taught how to tackle.
because
You are taught.
you can't hit the guy over the middle now, so now you have to drag him down, and the best way to do that is to take out their legs, and if you're just having to bear hug the guy, like if you don't hip drop tackle Kittle or just like chop his legs, he's gonna just carry you
You're
another
getting
7
run
to
over.
8 yards. And like I can understand possibly getting rid of like guys diving and targeting someone's kneecaps. That's different. But you're getting rid of a hip drop. That's like I was watching. I mean, the Detroit Lions social media team put their highlights up for like best tackles, and one of them was James Houston sacking. I think uh, it wasn't Kirk. It was some quarterback. He sacked him, and he did the hip drop, and it's like that's how you get the guy down without like
Yeah.
he's unnecessary roughness. Like they gotta figure it out with penalties. Like yeah, you want player safety, but at the same time, it's like you can't get rid of the aspect of football. They know they're gonna get injured. Like you put on that helmet, you go on that field, there's a possibility of you getting injured on every single play. Let them play. Like just make sure you call penalties when they're penalties. Like don't introduce dumb rules. I think they should get rid of taunting. Let players taunt. As long as you're not teabagging someone, I think it's okay.
That would be pretty funny to see. Like,
Let them
say,
talk. Like hot mic someone. Like just let them talk all day. Like give me like an unfiltered like hot mic of like anybody. CJ Chauncey Gardner Jr. Like give me a hot mic on him whole game. I would sit there and watch him trash talk for 60 minutes.
honestly, give me a hot mic on Christian Wilkins. That dude's hilarious.
Yeah, he's like
um,
let them talk. Let them taunt. Who cares? Like
like
you don't
I
like it,
get it.
stop
If
it.
like keep okay, I'd say keep the taunting rule, but ease up on it. Like you said,
Yeah, like
like yes,
unless you're teabagging someone, it's fair game, I feel like. I feel like that's my stance on taunting. Unless you teabag someone.
no, just imagine Juju Smith-Schuster getting a touchdown on, let's say, Darius Slay in the Super Bowl and he starts teabagging him, bro. I would just walk
Like
off the field if
imagine
that
like
happened
so like a lineman pancakes you, right? Lineman pancakes you, and then just teabag on you, then walks away like nothing happened.
to me. No, I want to see them do like like they're swimming on top of the guy, just surfs up. I want to see that, which I think I've seen that from, I forget who, maybe Quentin Nelson. I don't remember, but if, who
I mean,
knows?
let players taunt. I know Jason and Travis Kelsey talked about it on their podcast. It was one of the questions they got asked. It was like, "What rules would you
Love that
remove?" And
podcast.
Travis was like, "Taunting, get rid of it." I mean, Jason was like, "Get rid of holding because it makes his job easier." But I
Yeah,
think
that's
get rid of taunting. I think you let players have fun. That's what it should be about. Let them have fun. Let them do all kinds of celebrations as long as they're not like doing something excessively inappropriate.
I'm looking at you, Jamal Williams.
Hey, he kept it reasonable. Guess what? He did that every single time he scored in Lambeau. No fines. Doesn't it
Okay,
deter
okay, okay.
NFL
He can
fine
he can do
city?
it twice. He can't do it 3 times. How about that?
He actually did the three pump celebration one time. I watched it. He did it one.
Yeah, that was the first game against the Vikings. I remember that.
He
That
did
was
one.
hilarious.
He did two.
As much as that game pissed me off, that was hilarious.
That was funny.
Um, but speaking of, well, football games, what are your predictions for the Super Bowl on Sunday?
I think it'll be a close game. I think the Chiefs' defense, I think, is highly underrated. I think
Oh
they're
yeah.
actually extremely well put together defense, and Spagnuolo saves his best for last. So I think he'll have them boys flying around. I think it'll become a testament between who has the better D line, which I think at the end of the day is Philadelphia. They're like 15 guys deep, I swear. Um, I think it's going to be a close game. I think it'll come down to the wire. But I do think the Eagles will, in fact, pull it off. Philly will burn to the ground. Um, yeah. But I think it'll be a close game. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think that Mahomes is keeping it in there. And I think it'll be a defensive battle. And I think the under actually hits.
All right.
Lower scoring Super Bowl, I think 24-20 type of game.
I feel like those are always the best kind. Like low
I think it'll be
scoring.
intense. And I think it'll be fun to watch. I'm excited. I'm gonna get some wings, get a pizza maybe, and have a good time.
Well, as you know, my mom is a Chiefs fan. Mom, if you're watching this, I love you, but you're probably not. So, oh well. Um, so I want I you know how I feel about Philadelphia. I don't like their fans. I do like players on the Eagles, but I'm going Kansas City. I have learned to not count out Patrick Mahomes, whatever the
I'm not
situation
counting them
is.
out at all. I think it's
I
just
know.
gonna be a tough game, and it'll come down to one or two plays, a little momentum swing, one or two mistakes. And here's the thing: historically, Mahomes hasn't had the best Super Bowls. He's had a couple of rocky ones.
I'm gonna,
His one Super Bowl when he threw two interceptions in.
yes, he did, but he came up when it mattered.
That is true.
The
I'm
butterfly
not
play,
counting him
that
out.
butterfly route, I think that Tyreek Hill had, that was iconic.
I mean,
That was extremely iconic.
when you try Tyreek Hill with a sorry ass corner like Sherman, I mean, he's bound to get cooked.
No, but I'm gonna go to the Chiefs. If the Eagles do win, then oh well. I don't really
I mean, it's a
care.
coin flip.
Congrats. Ooh, you guys had a soft schedule to get to the Super Bowl,
I don't
with the
think you can
exception of
call
San
that.
Fran.
I mean, okay, what do you want from them? You want them to go out there and play the '84 Bears, and you want them to go out there play the Randy Moss, Tom Brady Patriots. You want like they played who was in front of them and they beat.
I know, I know. I like saying
And if
that
the
because it's
Eagles
funny.
win, I will put the banner up in Ford Field that we only lost by 3 to the Super Bowl champions, and you did not. That's
Well, we
our
didn't get blown out 38-7 that time, so
yeah. You guys lost to the Giants to avoid losing to the Eagles twice.
can't
You
get your
had
ass
them right
beat.
where you wanted
Eh,
them.
Oh, I just threw my pencil. Can't get your ass beat 38-7 if you don't play them. Smart.
Actually, I think if you guys would have won, you would have played San Fran. Yeah, because they were the 2 seed, you were the 3 seed. Yeah,
Mm.
so you would have played San Fran. So you didn't get your ass kicked by them this year. See, had them right where you wanted them.
See, that's what I said again the Colts game, and look what happened. That is besides the point. Yeah, no, I'm going the Chiefs. That secondary they have is very young but very talented. From what I've noticed, they have really grown up throughout the entire year. And if the Eagles win, in all seriousness, congratulations, Philly. Um, I love Jalen Hurts. I am starting to like Nick Sirianni a lot more just because of I don't know what it is about him, but he's just got some kind of swagger to him. Like he
I
embraces the
I
city of
clowned him
Philadelphia.
during his opening interview. I was one of the people who clowned him just because if you watch his opening interview, it was rough. Like you
Yeah.
can't say it wasn't, but he's grown on me. He's a dude. I like that Eagles squad. Um, I just like a lot of players on them. Their fans can't stand their fans, but fans are what makes football great. And I think if you are a Philly fan, though, I think it's great to be a Philly fan right now because they had it rough for years
They did. They
before
did.
their recent success. I mean, they never had a Super Bowl till Nick Foles, so can't hate on them for that. Like, I mean, it was rough for Philly for a while. Um,
No, I know Philly's
both teams
pain.
have earned their spot in the Super Bowl, whether they're the one seeds or not. They have
Oh yeah.
both earned their right to be in the Super Bowl. Buffalo fans, cry all you want. You still didn't beat the Bengals. Probably would have lost to them twice. Looking at that game in the playoffs.
And
Um,
Patrick Mahomes would have scored a touchdown with 8 seconds left, not 13.
yeah, that's what Buffalo was praying for. They were like, "Come on, give up a touchdown with 8 seconds, so they can stop clowning us for 13."
No, they had the over under on the Chiefs that game, I think.
Definitely, definitely.
Or Chiefs money line,
My
whatever it's called. I'm still
brother
learning.
had a massive parlay together, and he needed the over to hit in the Kansas City Bengals game. I think that was his last leg, and he didn't get
Yep.
to hit.
Yep. I was at B Dubs watching that game with him. Um, no, but I'm going Chiefs Kingdom. If the like I said, if the Eagles win, congrats. Y'all have definitely earned it. As much crap as I might give you. You guys have definitely earned it. And I can say we lost to the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people did. A
Yeah, a
lot
lot
of
of people lost to Kirk Cousins too, and look what happened.
only three teams actually beat them, and two of those teams got their butts kicked the other time. So,
Yeah, well.
so really, it's the Saints who can just go, "Hey, we beat the." Using UCF logic, they'll be like, "Hey, Super Bowl champs, New Orleans."
I hate the Saints more than I hate Philly fans, and that's not saying much, but me and the Saints, it's on site.
Well, I mean, when Alvin Kamara puts up a NFL record on your team,
Yeah, well,
but you
uh
also have Minneapolis
we
Miracles. Like,
we spanked them twice in the playoffs after the whole Bounty Gate things, so I think we're even.
that is true.
But um,
You wanna we gonna touch on the NFL draft coming up at all?
yes.
We will dive into that later as well.
Uh, I,
We'll do full mock drafts, breakdowns, all that fun stuff. But just a quick little preview here.
Speaking of, well, obviously, leapfrogging off that, Andrew, who do you have in your top five right now, just off the top of your head? If you
Like
know,
my top five big board, or like
like
my
your top five, like who do you think is going pick 1 through 5 as of right now?
I think the Bears, if they don't trade out, which you could, I think is them trading out is a lot of smoke and mirrors. I think a lot of teams are gonna think, you know what, we can chill. We don't need to give up that much for the Bears' number one pick. So I think the Bears go Jalen Carter at number one. I think the Texans go C.J. Stroud. I understand Bryce Young is really talented, but so is C.J. Stroud, and I think the Texans do take the jump on C.J. Stroud if they go quarterback. D'Amico Ryans, new era in Houston, could also see them just going Will Anderson, start building a core because
I
they
would
need
not be shocked.
everything. They don't need not like a quarterback away. And this quarterback class is actually pretty deep. So I see Jalen Carter, C.J. Stroud. Number three is the Seattle Seahawks, right?
No, it's the Cardinals. I may or may not have a full mock draft written down.
Cardinals at number three are going Will Anderson. Oh yeah, that's right. Seattle's at five, and then
Mhm.
number four is the Colts. I see them going Bryce Young at number four. And then Seattle, I can see taking Will Levis or um,
Hmm.
I'm blanking on names. But I'll just go Seattle takes Will Levis at five because you say, hey, Gino, you playing well, but we're going to develop a quarterback behind you. I could see it happening. Could also see Seattle going defensive line as well.
The quarterback they draft, he's gonna be the one writing back, possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
I well, for my draft, I have things slightly different. It's a little stereotypical, but I have the Colts trading up with Chicago to get CJ Stroud. because I feel like they can't keep putting up band-aid on the quarterback position. Like I'm not saying they're a quarterback away, but having a QB would
I
definitely
think they
help.
are a quarterback away. Actually, I think if they were to get Bryce Young, I think that instantly puts them in contention for the division title next year.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not
And
wrong.
the
I,
defense,
I,
their
I
defense
will
is
agree with
pretty
you on that.
solid. Like
I,
they
I
should
I'm
be
I'm
up for.
waiting. I'm gonna wait to declare the Colts division title contenders until after the draft and free
I think it's
agency
the
because it's
Jaguars'
not gonna
division,
happen.
so proven otherwise. So
Oh yeah, Duval County, stand up. Um, but yeah, I got the Colts trading up to get Stroud. I have Texans taking Bryce Young, although, like you said, this could very well change. You never know. But as of right now, they're taking Bryce Young. I have the Cardinals taking Will Anderson. JJ Watt just retired. They need edge help. They need a lot on that defense. And then the Bears get lucky at pick 4 and take Jalen Carter. And then
for very easily actually if they do trade out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
yeah. But I feel like if the Bears trade out, they know like, hey, we could get Jalen Carter or Will
I mean, the
Anderson
Bears are like
potentially.
the Texans where they need pretty much everything except the Bears don't need a quarterback. Maybe we'll see. I mean, they have
As
a.
of this year, I will say that as of this year, they don't need a quarterback.
I think
Next year that could
Fields
change.
definitely solidified himself as another year because I mean, who else is going to run the ball for them for 100 yards a game?
I mean, you saw who he was throwing to. I'm not going to make too many excuses for him
Hey, Chase
because
Claypool is a top 3 wide receiver according to himself. So
yeah, top 3 in drops maybe. I actually
I
don't
said
know.
according to himself. Chase Claypool said he himself was a top 3 wide receiver.
I respect the confidence, but bro really announced his own draft replacement at the
Top three
draft.
wide receiver, maybe from Notre Dame in the NFL.
I'll take your word for that.
I don't
But
know
I
any other
have
Notre Dame wide receivers in the NFL. So,
I couldn't tell you. They're known for their offensive linemen, I swear to God.
oh,
But at number 5, I have the Seattle Seahawks taking Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech.
I want him on Detroit. So I have Seattle.
Um,
Careful to Seattle taking someone else.
Actually, well, I have either him, like I have Tyree Wilson going to Seattle, or I have Trenton Simpson, that guy from Clemson, going to Seattle because I watched his tape the other day, and this dude he reminds me a lot of what Isaiah Simmons was in college.
What was it?
Very versatile, can play nickel corner, can come off the edge, can stop the run and stuff like that, and he can also play coverage at linebackers. So I think he would be a great piece for that Seattle defense. But that's just me.
I just did a mock draft, and Will Anderson fell to Detroit.
Look, as well,
It
as
has the
scary
Vikings
as that.
getting Jordan Addison according to this mock draft.
Who? Wait, who's getting Jordan Addison?
You are. As Quentin
I
Johnson going to the Eagles, dear Lord.
no, 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 please. I can't take it. No, no, no. Philadelphia is allowed to have nice things, but not him. Um, Nah, actually, Andrew, fun fact, I have the Lions taking Joey Porter at number 6.
I swear, if the Lions take him at number 6, I'm offing myself. I
Why
think
would
he's
you not?
good. I think he's really talented. I just think there will be better options at 6 than a corner. Okay.
Well,
Also,
I have
Lions take
listen.
Michael Mayer. I'm also offing myself because I swear if we draft another tight end super high in the draft, I might just lose it.
Well, look, I have the Lions going secondary in this draft because I feel like they're one or two pieces in the secondary.
I really like Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon. He's a physical freak. Also underrated wide receiver who might blow up at the combine. Zay Flowers out of
Yeah, I've been
Florida.
hearing a lot about him. Tell me a
Dude,
little bit about him.
nuts. His route running is crisp. He's kind of like, if I had a comp, I guess it would be Antonio Brown minus the CTE.
I
Um,
was gonna say, is he putting that shit on?
he like just does everything you want a wide receiver to do. Like he's physically, he's got speed, he's got size, good hands, good route running, high points to ball. I mean, he played on Boston College and dominated dudes. So I mean, he's not like he's having the best quarterbacks throw to him, and he's getting all the best coverage because it's Boston College. Let's be real. Um,
Um, what was I gonna
also
say?
expect. I see everyone has Bijan going to the Cowboys, so that's interesting.
That wouldn't shock me.
Also, wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys take Duggan in like the 5th round.
I could see that. No, I actually have where was it? I actually have the Patriots taking Jordan Addison. Spoiler alert, this is just based off of team
Are they
needs.
gonna actually draft a wide receiver and a real wide receiver, or are they gonna draft some dude we've never heard of?
When we drafted Cole Strange last year, and he actually turned out pretty well.
He's doing pretty solid. I wouldn't say well, but he's doing solid.
Solid, well, same thing.
He's he's solid.
And then I have well, I have the Vikings taking a corner because this is the one year we actually need them because of the hiring of Brian Flores, which
Also, we haven't touched on that yet. I know we only have 2 minutes left in this session, but Brian Flores to Minnesota, excellent, excellent, excellent hire.
I can't complain.
I don't know
I cannot complain.
how you finessed the league and got him. Um,
Okay. Here are my thoughts on that. I don't mean to cut you off there, Andrew. My bad. But so I personally think Brian Flores should be a head coach somewhere. I'm just
I
saying.
wouldn't. I was going to say that next. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually ends up leaving the Vikings job this offseason and takes a head coaching job elsewhere. I don't know if he's a finalist elsewhere. I don't think he is,
Are you
but
talking
that
about next? Are you talking about
I
next year?
no this offseason.
No, he's out of the running for the Cardinals job, and that's they either wanted
The
Sean
Colts,
Payton
I know the
or
Colts
Brian
haven't
Flores.
whittled down to their finalist yet. The Colts are taking forever for whatever reason.
If they take Brian Flores from me, I'm gonna cry.
He definitely deserves to be a head coach. And
I
I think
know, I
as a
know.
Lions fan, I'm scared to what the Vikings could become with a competent defense. Um, but it's not
Maybe
going to
we'll
matter.
lose in the
Lions,
NFC Championship again.
Lions are taking the North next year. It doesn't matter.
No comment. Um, no, but
Um,
I'm excited, and if the Lions do, I salute you
hey,
guys.
I think actually I'm really excited for next season because I actually think Lions and Vikings. I hope the NFL schedules us to play each other Week 18 because I honestly do believe the division title will come down to the final 3 weeks of the season next year between us. It'll be
Yeah,
us this year, and then it'll be Green Bay with or without Aaron Rodgers, and then it'll be Chicago, way down there.
I'm gonna wait and see with Chicago. They definitely
They have
punched
so
above their
many
weight.
holes. They're like Swiss cheese.
I know, but they punched above their weight this past year. Despite, I mean, they were 3-5 at one point. That's the funny part. They definitely punched above their weight. They didn't win, but they punched above their weight, in my opinion. But it's a wait and see kind of thing.
Which Gordon's by the end.
When we come back, we will continue the discussion about all the offseason moves. Ooh. All right, and we are back. Somehow the council has returned.
God, I hate the Eagles. We could turn this into a movie discussion if we wanted to. Second half, first half sports, second half movies.
Can you imagine what our viewers would think of that?
They would have no idea what's going on.
No, we definitely need to when we have more
Definitely
time on
should
our
do it.
hands. When all three of us have more time on our hands,
Or
we
maybe
definitely
we just convert this to a everything podcast and just
definitely.
talk about a little bit
Um,
of sports, talk a little bit of movies, talk a little bit. I think that we should do that. I think that'd be fun.
talk about sports, movies, life.
I think it'd be fun
Why not?
just to hit record and just let us talk about everything.
Oh yeah.
I think that would actually be more fun than doing sports, but just
Oh,
fun.
don't get me wrong. I love talking sports to you
Yeah,
guys,
so do
but
I.
I
Fun.
see you got it. You
I
got a
think
point.
I think if we just put us three with an open mic and we hit the open road and just see what happens. I think it'd be more enjoyable. Then we wouldn't
We just we
like
just
right
go
now
where the
we
wind
have
takes
nothing to
us.
talk about. Like it's just draft, Super Bowl.
We just
Yeah, the
go wherever the
NHL is
wind takes
going,
us.
but trade deadline's not for like a month away. So like it's like and the NBA is the NBA. Who cares?
Well, I don't.
Congrats to LeBron for passing Kareem though. That's I think although that is a record, I think we will see broken in our
Oh,
lifetimes.
it's.
Once or twice actually.
Oh no, I don't doubt. Like the record's not going to stand forever for LeBron. Let's be real here.
No, not at all.
However, say what you will about LeBron. I know your goat is Michael Jordan. I understand that. That's perfectly fine. Say what you will though, but that's an accomplishment.
It is impressive because I was like looking at it, I was like, who's even close? And like Giannis is 28, and I think he's 12,000 points away. I think he's at like 21,000 career points. What's the record? 33.
I think so.
So yeah, he's like 12,000 points away. So if he does 1,000 points a year for the next 12 years, he'll get there. But I was like looking at Luca, and Luca's got 8,000 points, and he's only 23. But like I don't see Luca playing for 20 years because I just don't think that's Luca. I mean, it takes some dedication to do
I
what
mean,
LeBron did.
there's a reason LeBron is playing at the age he's playing at a I
He's dedicated.
for his age it is a high level. I will say that. But there is a reason he has been playing the way he
I
has.
mean, the NBA is soft now, so it's like
Oh yeah.
you can play.
Oh no, I
If you can run and you keep your knees in good shape, I feel like in this new NBA, you can play for as long as you want. Um, I do think LeBron has evolved over time with the game of basketball, but I do think yeah, you put him back in the mid 80s or whatever. I mean, he's not getting away with what he is now. I think he would still bully people because he's just bigger. But I
mhm.
mean, you throw him against the bad boy Pistons, and he would die.
I will say this about LeBron. In the 80s, like I mean, I've seen The Last Dance. I've seen what those bad boy Pistons were up to. The shenanigans they were
And
getting
like
into back
bodybuilding
then.
wasn't a thing back then. Like guys didn't condition like the way they used to, or or guys don't condition like they do now and lift weights and all that back then. So like LeBron
I
would have
mean,
probably just been the skinny high schooler that he was for most of his NBA career if he played
I,
back then because it wasn't like as common. It wasn't like you didn't see guys lifting weights. It really wasn't until Jordan was like, "Hey, we have to be stronger than the bad boy Pistons because they would just bully everybody,"
mhm.
which is just Detroit basketball.
I think LeBron would have been pretty good in the 80s. He wouldn't have been what he is.
I don't think he would have been
He
bad, but I just
would
don't
not
think
have been what he is today, though.
yeah, that I don't think he would have gotten as big as he's gotten physically. He still would have been the same height, obviously, but he wouldn't be nearly as big because it just wasn't a thing back then. Like you look at Scottie Pippen. Imagine Scottie Pippen actually lifted weights or something. Like, dude,
Imagine Larry Bird.
muscle. Or Larry Bird. Like Larry probably could have had a longer career if they knew what we know now back then. So I think
I mean, if dude,
it
if
definitely is an achievement. I'm not going to deny it. Jordan will be my GOAT because for what he did in such a short amount of time, I don't think can ever be topped unless you're playing 2K. So,
I know what I must do.
6 rings in 7 years, three, six straight, never lost in the finals.
No, that is unprecedented. I won't lie.
And I think Kobe, I think is very underrated. He's right up there as well. I think Kobe gets overlooked pretty often because he doesn't have a lot of the records, but dude won quite a few rings. I think he won
No,
2 rings with
uh,
not great squads. And
no.
dude he was the second coming of Michael Jordan. Um, I think it holds testament to Kareem though, how prolific he was back in his day. The fact that his record stood for 40 years, which is just crazy. Like I was like just like thinking about it, it's like no one even came close to that in 40 years, and basketball has changed so much in 40 years. Like I can't imagine how tough it must have been to guard Kareem back then. Like if he's scoring that much,
I
like that's
just
ridiculous.
it's just it's kind of wild to me because I mean I grew up watching LeBron. I didn't get into the NBA till about 2012, but like I remember watching him get like his first ring and stuff, and I'm just thinking, shit, he finally did it. And now, like, looking at how
Had
his
to
career
had to go
panned
to a super
out.
team, but yeah.
Yeah, I know, I know. I mean, you got to think though. Um,
Jordan had Pippen and Rodman, but
yeah,
like, I mean,
I
I'm
think
not going
LeBron.
to discredit any rings except the bubble ring. That ring don't count. That's a Mickey Mouse ring. Okay. I know statistically it was one of the hardest rings. Shut up. No, it wasn't. You're playing in the
Mhm.
bubble. There's no fans. There's no travel. There's no hostility. Like it's not the same. It's a Mickey Mouse ring. Doesn't count.
I, I will say with the whole super team thing, and then we'll obviously get back to the NFL. But I will say with the whole super team thing, like I don't consider the Bulls, like the '90s Bulls, a super team. They had their big three: Jordan, Rodman, Pippen. But I think LeBron has kind of overdone it in terms of the super team thing. Because yeah, if you want like him, D Wade, and Bosh, like that was a big three. It wasn't a super team, but you see now, like when KD, Kyrie, and Harden, teamed up, that was just a little bit too much.
Well, I mean, I think him joining D Wade, Bosh definitely was a super team because I don't think they won it until Ray Allen joined the team,
Wait,
and Ray Allen was still pretty good at the time.
I forgot about that.
So I mean, that definitely is a super team, and it wasn't unlike because I mean, you look at the Spurs at the time; they had to build that team. It wasn't in Manu and Tony Parker and Tim Duncan, Hall of Famers in their respect.
They all got drafted.
But it's not like they were the premier guy that like Bosch and D Wade were already really good, and D Wade already had a ring because he won it with Shaq already. So it's like, and honestly, you look at the Nets experiment and you see the value of a head coach. I think because I think if the Nets got a real head coach and not Steve Nash, I think a real head coach would have not forced, but gotten that big three in Brooklyn to actually work. Like you can't have a players run team that nowadays. Like it just doesn't work.
Mhm.
And I think you look at Jordan and like he was a leader on his team. Who was the head coach's name? Phil Jackson.
Mhm.
Like it took him, triangle bitch, to put everything together, um, to get that team to work. And Steve Kerr will be a Hall of Famer, so you can play with Steve Kerr. But I think Kerr will be in the Hall of Fame more so for his coaching than he
Oh
was
yeah.
as a player. And I mean, it really just was Pippen for three of his rings, right? And then it was Rodman for the other three or the last two. I want to say
I
something
want to
like.
say at the very least the last two, but
No, I know the last one for sure. I think the last two, because then Rodman goes to Detroit and helps us win two, which was awesome.
I thought Rodman came from Detroit.
No, he did not. He came from somewhere else. I can't remember. Maybe he did
All
come from.
right, well,
Either way,
my NBA
Jordan comes
opinion is
back to
canceled.
Detroit and we win a ring. His jersey's up in the rafters at Little Caesars. That's all I care about. Pistons haven't been good since then, but whatever.
Well,
But
my NBA opinion is canceled.
I mean, I just don't watch the NBA.
I
It doesn't
don't
interest
either.
me. I
Um,
just think basketball as a sport is less interesting to me now. Um, just because I, th- I I just find it hard to watch casually because it's just unless it's my team. Like I'll watch occasional Michigan basketball team. Unless it's March Madness, I don't watch.
oh, March Madness, I'm tuned in for every single
Oh,
game.
I watched all those games during school. I was that one kid in the back. All the teachers knew he was watching March Madness. Didn't do anything about it anyways.
No, I was that one kid in the class who would play hill climb on his school tablet, and I literally, dude, no, I kid you not. I literally, you'd see me going like this with my tablet, like didn't say anything.
I played on my phone all the time. Teachers wouldn't say anything because I got good grades. But
Oh well. Ugh.
yeah,
Anyways,
I was that kid. I was that kid.
ah ah. Anyways, so
But I let you talk to
NFL
me. So
or Sean Payton to the Broncos. What do we
I
think?
think he will get Russ. I think he'll get rid of Russ's phony superstar attitude. I think he'll get rid of it. I don't know if he can bring Russ back to what he was, Because frankly, I don't think coaching was the problem in Denver. I think it was Russell Wilson last year. He just looked like it looked like Russell Wilson was not playing the same game everybody else was.
Well, yeah, I mean, did you see how many wide open targets he missed?
Like he missed a lot, and hopefully Sean Payton can do that because I would really love to see more competition. I think the NFL is getting to a great spot where it's not like I think we're going to get to a point where like the bad teams aren't going to be really that bad. I mean, we'll occasionally have a really bad team here and there. Like there's always going to be like three teams, but I think
Mhm.
most of the league is getting to a point where it's like really it's only the little things that are going to cause you to win or lose. And I think the NFL is
Yeah.
going to be at its toughest it's ever been. I mean, you look at the Lions; they were 9-8 this year, but I mean, we were pretty much in every game except one, which was the New England game because we got blown out. But I mean, and then I guess you could say the Cowboys game too. But I mean, you look at the Vikings; they won what 11 one-score games, 12 one-score games.
Somehow, and my blood pressure was raised every single
I mean, it's
game.
not like the Eagles were blowing people out either. I don't think there wasn't really a lot of blowouts this year. I think a lot of games were really close. And
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to coaching. Is going to be coaches are going to be at a premium, and general managers will be from now on
Oh,
for building teams. And I think there's a lot. The NFL is really in a good place, and I hope Sean Payton can bring the Broncos there because I would love to see the Broncos were the one team that could actually play the Chiefs well this year and nearly
oh
beat them
yeah.
twice, even with Russell being as bad as he was.
Actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, the two games that the Broncos and Chiefs played, it was like a
Close.
loss margin of like at most 8, like
It
for
was
the both
30
games.
something to 24 something.
Yeah.
I hope Sean Payton can make Russell Wilson be great because seeing I think just having more competition is better. Like I
Yeah.
don't like one team blowing everybody out. Like it's not interesting.
I also hope that
Unless it's my dynasty in college football.
oh yeah, Dynasty. What team are you on now?
Oh, I haven't played in a while, but I'm still in Michigan.
Gotcha.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, I hope
I gotta beat Joe Paterno's 49 bowl victories record. Got to.
holy crap.
Paterno's records are insane. Like looking at them, it's insane. He never had a losing season at Penn State. He made a bowl game like 42 straight years. He was at Penn State for 49 years.
so only had what, 7 non-bowl game seasons? I don't
I
know.
think so. But like 49 straight years at Penn State, that's impressive. Dude dude spent like the majority of his life head coach at Penn State. That's insane. That's a crazy record that I don't think will ever be touched.
No. No.
50 years? If you start coaching at 30, like if Sean McVay, let's say Sean McVay, because he was what? He's like 32, 35, something
Mhm.
like that. He would be the head coach of the Rams till he was 80 to match Joe
He's gonna be
Paterno's
that
Penn
head
State
coach of the
college
Rams by
record.
the time he's 35.
That's insane. Crazy.
Um, what was I gonna say? As far as the Sean Payton hire goes, I think that Broncos team is gonna be a lot more disciplined. Because Sean
Oh, yeah.
Payton, he don't mess around.
No, I think he's on a mission I think he knew if he's coming back, he's going to a team. He got to pick his team. He was like, "Hey, I'm coming here and my mission is to win another Super Bowl ring." Because he's like he was sitting at Fox his last few years and he was like, "Man, these guys suck." He's like, "I can win a ring with these teams." So he's gonna go out there and I think he will. I think he will push them to the hardest. And I think D'Amico Ryan's also great hire by the Houston Texans. That guy, you let him just please let him finish out his contract. Let him build something. Because man, that is a roster that's gonna take time. I give them 3 years before they're anything.
I
But
give them 3 years before they're even in the playoff conversation, and this very well could change because look at
absolutely
Jacksonville. Look what one coaching changed it. Not that Houston has the roster like Jacksonville. They do
no,
not. They don't even have a franchise quarterback
it,
unless Davis Mills turns into Peyton Manning.
which I don't see happening.
No, but I think Sean Payton's going to get that Broncos team on track. Broncos country will be riding, hopefully.
I hope so too. I think it'll be fun for the league. More good teams, better. Hopefully that AFC West can be what it was, what we thought it would be this year, but it was not.
No, it's gonna be I can see it being LA, KC, Denver, and then the Raiders are over there like well, it's like that one what's that one meme? It's I can't think of it. It's where it's like a four-headed monster and it just has the one goofy face.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
serpents team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what the AFC West should be this year. It should be. I'm not saying it will be, but it should.
hopefully, hopefully, hopes.
Oh man. Let me tell you though, we definitely could have a podcast where we just talk about anything. It don't matter.
Dude, we're meme connoisseurs over here,
I
especially.
know we're you especially. I've seen how you talk just through memes.
I could have a full blown conversation. I could actually speak for a whole day in just memes, like legit, sun up, sun down, just memes. If we ever do a vacation, you, me, and Butts, I'll speak in memes for a whole day. You will hate me by the end of the day, but I'll do it. But
No,
this is
we
where the
probably
fun
we
begins.
no, but it'd be like 6 o'clock in that evening or something, and we ask, "Hey Andrew, where do you want to go to eat?" You just send a meme. I can't compete.
Like I could communicate and just like I could just say memes, like and or just do memes, and you would know what I'm talking about. Just wake up. This is where the fun begins. Nothing to worry about. Just go about your drinks.
No, we go to a bar. You see me and Butsons, or you see me, the alcohol starts flowing. Oh, I have a bad feeling about this. A
You're
cop
getting
comes up, tries
sidetracked.
to no, a cop comes up, tries to arrest me. I try and talk myself out of it. Ah, yes, the negotiator. If this gives you guys any indication on what I do on a vacation, it's that.
You know
I
what's
just
crazy is Burrow might finish the postseason as the quarterback with the most passing yards.
really
If Mahomes has less than 200 passing yards in the Super Bowl, Burrow will have the most passing yards.
that's actually wow.
Christian McCaffrey is looking like he might end the playoffs as the leading rusher. Jamar Chase,
I figured Jamar or T. Higgins would be the leading
Kelsey's
receiver.
only 50 yards away from Chase.
Oh, he'll smash that. There's no way.
Oluokun of Jacksonville finished with the most tackles
He also was
up until
top.
the Super
He
Bowl,
was he was top three in tackles for the season, I think.
something like that. Hey, he was pretty good.
Oh God, yeah, no, we could definitely.
Goodell said, "Never been better on officiating." Okay, buddy. Clearly, you don't pay attention to anything.
No, Goodell's just smoking that good stuff. Let him be.
Oh, the Washington Commanders named Sam Howell to start offseason as QB1. My favorite quarterback of last year's draft class.
I yeah.
After Pickett, I thought Howell would do really well.
Speaking of Kenny Pickett, do you think the Steelers draft Jordan Addison and can continue the
I
trend of
hope. I think that would
college
be a
QB and
great
receiver?
move. I think it would be really cool if they did. I think it would show, hey, we're committed to you, Kenny, and I think it'd be fun watching them. George Pickens and Jordan Addison. I think that'll be tough to stop. And Deontay
NFL
Johnson in there. They would
NFL young boy and
they would be just like the Bengals, honestly. Like three-headed wide receiver monster. Like I
that's
think I had the Steelers winning the I picked the Steelers to win the division this year. Obviously that didn't happen, but maybe next year.
oh they'll be back. I don't doubt it.
I think next year is actually will be probably the best. Hopefully the best season of football for NFL yet.
Or at least that we've seen in a while because
I'm the most optimistic for it, probably because the Lions are actually good for once, but still.
just honestly the two biggest things, at least for me, for the Lions, if they do want to win the division, close out games and add one or two more pieces to that secondary.
Entire defense, really.
Yeah, that's
I mean, we
well.
got
I mean,
Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn coming back. I believe AG is back as well. And I
mhm.
know a lot of people hated on Aaron Glenn, but I did. Let me get my backpack. All right. I was in thermo class, and I was bored, so I started um, going through the Lions' stats. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah,
All right, first 7 games when we go 1-6. Okay, um, the defense was giving up 32.14 points per game. The offense had 394 yards per game. The defense was
mhm.
giving up 421 yards per game. Broken that down, that's 266 yards passing per game, 154 rushing yards per game. We also only had 6 turnovers in the first 7 games. Okay, then we have our bye week. Post bye week, or no, then bye week, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Dolphins. Packers game. Okay, so from the Packers on, so when we start winning. So our last 10. Defense gave up 18.6 points per game. So a decrease in about 14 points per game. Offense production went down to 369 nice yards per game, but the defense gave up 50 less yards per game as well, going down to 372 yards per game. And that's decrease of 30 passing yards per game and a decrease of 16 rushing yards per game. So massive defense improvement. And guess how many turnovers we had in our last 10 games?
15.
16 turnovers in our last 10.
I was one off. Damn it.
Yeah. 3 of which came from, I think, 16 turnovers came from Green Bay, from supposedly a quarterback and a running back who never turned the ball over. 3
Ooh.
of which came against Daniel Jones. 4 of them were against the Vikings. So it's not like they were bad.
Wait,
And I
wait.
think,
What turn? Wait. What turn? No, because well, I tend to block that game out of my mind.
maybe I think I combined the Bears and the Lions or the Viking stats there.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure we did fumble once against Detroit, but I don't remember any interceptions being thrown.
All right, hold on. Yeah, yeah. So it
I,
was 6 turnovers were from Green Bay, 3 were from the Giants, 2 from Minnesota,
okay, that
2 were
makes more
from
sense.
Chicago. We played
Okay.
Chicago twice in our last 10.
Yeah.
So that was a massive improvement by the defense. And the second time we played the Bears, held them to just 30 total passing yards. Now Justin Fields had no one to throw to, but still. We held the Jaguars, Jets, and Vikings under 100 rushing yards in a 3 game span. Um, so I think defensively, the Lions are looking a lot better. I think it took some time for the rookies to get um, molded to learn the system and everything. But I think once they did, massive improvement defensively, and I'm excited for next year's defense as well.
I mean, I'd say I'm excited for my team's defense, but we're gonna cut a lot of guys. But I don't know. I don't mean to change the subject. I if the Lions win the division, I'd rather them than Green Bay.
It'll be us. It'll be either you or me. So either way, I can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both come to an understanding where it's like we don't hate our teams, like, we don't hate each other's teams except when we play each other. And even then, it's all in good fun.
I mean, Minnesota sports and Detroit sports have common pain over the last 20 years. All of our franchises have not been the greatest.
You think if we combined all of our franchise into one, we'd maybe win a championship?
Oh yeah, we wouldn't. Are you kidding me? Okay, think about this. Okay, I'm gonna take Jared Goff because he threw 0 interceptions in the last 8 games of the season.
That's fine.
You give Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, DJ Chark, Dalvin Cook, Jamal Williams, and DeAndre Swift in the backfield.
And TJ Hawkinson at tight end.
Basically,
Why
we
not?
get TJ Hawkinson back and that Irvin guy you have who got injured, your other tight
Irv
end,
Smith.
Irv Smith.
Yeah,
He's also
yeah.
a really solid tight end. So that two tight ends plus one or two of ours.
I'll write this
Our
down.
offensive line basically with your best players thrown in there. Our
Give
D
us
line
swap
combined,
out Taylor Decker for Christian Darrisaw.
I think actually we would move Shaw to one of the guard positions. Decker actually did really well this year too.
No, I know. I'm talking in terms of like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Darrisaw. He's one of the best left tackles in the league. He doesn't get a ton of
Take the
love.
best five offensive linemen, put them on the field.
That's fine. That's fine.
D
Best available.
line, you have Hutchinson, Houston, Zadarius Smith, and then your interior guys. Linebackers. Did you guys lose Anthony Barr? Who was your
Yeah,
linebacker?
we lost Anthony Barr, but we still have Eric Kendricks.
So you have Kendricks, Anzalone, and Rodrigo.
Wait, are we running a 4-3 or 3-4?
Whatever, whatever it's best. I mean, you put our secondary with your secondary, they would figure it out as long as they're not running whatever defense you guys were running.
Hey! The bad man can't hurt me anymore.
Kirby Joseph at safety because that dude's a baller. He owns Aaron Rodgers. Special teams, obviously, our punter. Probably, I don't know. We probably
Your guys' kicker. Maybe if we
have to find a new kicker.
no
But
no 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 no. Here's what we do. We this is gonna sound really bad. Just bear with me. We combine the body parts. We have Greg Joseph's leg, and then just a new kicker.
accuracy.
Because Greg's got a leg. Okay, he has a leg. It's just it's
Make
the
a
accuracy.
clone of Jason Hanson and bring him back to Detroit.
Can we put Greg Joseph's leg on him?
Jason Hanson had a leg. He could hit the occasional 50-yarder.
Or we just
But
go
you're
back and
telling me that team wouldn't win a Super Bowl? That team would for sure win a Super Bowl. For sure.
or we just go back in time, get Prime Seabass from the Raiders because they weren't winning anything back then, and put them on the what would it be? The Minnesota Lions, the Detroit Vikings.
Detroit Vikings. That sounds way cooler.
Okay, and and
Plus, the Vikings actually landed in Detroit before Minnesota first, but whatever.
or and for the logo, we could do like purple and the Lions gray or whatever because that is. Or
That would look pretty sick.
actually,
Pretty sick.
and then for the lot when the the Lions have those gray jerseys or whatever, the blue.
Blue.
Imagine the gray, but the blue is the purple stripes.
Do some blue accents there.
It could be like a mixture.
Blue and purple kind of go well together, low key. So I mean, if you do a right shade of purple, right shade of blue, definitely your stadium because it's way nicer.
Absolutely.
But in Detroit because our fans are better. But we still get the skull chant.
Fair enough. All right, boom. To the owner of the Vikings and Lions, if you're watching this, make this happen.
Just combine into one team. Just do it.
Combine powers.
It's better.
Be like in Dragon Ball Z when they did that. You have Kirk's ability to play 1 o'clock games.
Like, how would that team would go undefeated?
Especially with okay, so here's what we do with Jared Goff.
We might lose a game because of our kicker, but still.
Here's what we do. With the quarterback. We keep Goff. We give him Kirk's ability to win in 1 o'clock for whatever reason, and then boom, we're set.
Yeah, and the NFL hates Detroit, and all we do is play 1 o'clock games.
Then we go 17-0.
Exactly.
And we even blow out a bye week.
Lose Thanksgiving because we're cursed. As long as we do a bathtub full of whiskey, I think we'll be fine.
Then we'll have Dan Campbell as the head coach / hype man, and Kevin O'Connell as the OC. Or no, as the assistant coach.
Dan
and then
Campbell head coach, Kevin O'Connell OC with Ben. Actually,
him and Ben Johnson can be like the they'll figure it out. They'd figure it out in this hypothetical scenario.
Aaron Glenn and Brian Flores as
DCs. Shut up and take my money.
The only problem is there's nothing really in between Minnesota and Detroit other than Green Bay.
We built an underwater stadium.
Wait, is Green Bay just the Lions and Vikings put together? Oh shit.
No, that's not true.
That's why they've had all the success. They're right in the middle of the radius. They use PEMDAS. You know, a negative times a negative cancels out. So that's why Green Bay's so good. So now that Chicago is sucking again, now they're doing PEMDAS and we're getting positives.
I like your math. Picasso. um
As we
yeah, I think we've covered everything today though, right? I
we
mean,
created an NFL team.
Butson, don't be too mad at us for that. We love you, buddy.
Now, if we create a basketball team,
Oh,
then,
I already got the
then
starting
they
five.
might make the eighth seed. They might make the eighth seed.
I have the starting five. Okay, so point guard, Cade, small forward or shooting guard, Ant, power forward. We go
Yeah,
back in time and get
shooting
prime
guard
Kevin
would be
Garnett.
no small forward and Cade point guard. I think Sadiq or no Ivy. Ivy is our shooting guard.
Mhm.
Jalen Duren at power forward.
I was
Could
gonna go back in time and get Kevin Garnett.
do that too. If we're going back in time, then just give us Dennis Rodman. It was Dennis Rodman and Kevin Garnett down low. Easy dub. And we bring in
We're
Chauncey.
gonna have to turn up Dennis Rodman's 3-point sliders though.
Rebound. If he gets every rebound, no one's ever going to touch the ball.
Now what
Baseball,
color?
God, our baseball teams suck too.
I
I don't know enough about baseball, anyways.
you just
Hockey.
want to clone. You just want to clone a bunch of Bo Jacksons and put them on the field and see what happens.
Although, if we did combine hockey teams, you put Kirill Kaprizov on Detroit and Harrison Eck, and Wings could do some damage. Let me tell you, because Minnesota sucks.
Once I chose the Vikings as my football team, I kind of inducted myself into the Minnesota Sports of Pain or Hall of Pain.
Actually, speaking of the Wild, they are currently losing 3-1 right now.
Oh, they're losing 3-1.
Yeah, to
I ain't
Dallas.
worried. I ain't worried. I ain't
Detroit's
worried.
at the bottom of their
It's
division.
3-1. It's 3-1. I ain't worried.
Actually, Minnesota does not suck this year. They're third in their division.
Who
Interesting.
doesn't suck that bad in hockey? Minnesota.
Detroit sucks though. God, we're on a slump. I tell you what.
Aren't you guys
We're second to last in our division. It's rough.
don't you guys have a young team?
Very young team.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Ah, yes. The Wild are 27-18.
Yep.
Wow.
Detroit just loses a lot of overtime games. That's all. We had
Again,
eight.
same problem as the Lions. They got to close games out.
Yeah, it's a young team though. We'll get better.
Well, I was gonna words. Come on, brain. Well, we have had a lot of fun here tonight. I will say this. This has been probably one of the more fluent episodes we've had.
Definitely more relaxed. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everyone. Have fun Super Bowl celebrations. If you're doing it alone, like I am, just have fun. Get some wings, get a pizza, just have a good time.
And be safe.
Hopefully the commercials don't suck. If I hear Whopper Whopper, I'm turning the game off.
Well, speaking of Super Bowl commercials, we're supposed to get like 10 plus movie trailers.
I know.
So if you're just watching it for the commercials, there you go.
I don't know why Ant-Man's releasing another trailer. That makes no sense. The movie comes out in like a week.
I'm still excited for it.
I am too. Hopefully it's good. I love Ant-Man.
Oh, dude.
Paul Rudd the GOAT.
Paul Rudd is a national treasure. We don't deserve
New
that, man.
face of the MCU, Paul Rudd. He's immortal. He's literally Kang, but in real life.
What if he is Kang and they just
He
I don't
he
know.
he can be the conqueror of this world if he wants. I don't care. I'm excited for Jonathan Majors though. I hope
Oh, I can already
fantastic
tell that
actor.
man's a menace.
I'm excited for him to be in the MCU for a long time. Hopefully they do
A
it
long
right.
time being what,
They
5 years, and
kill him
then
off in
boom.
this movie. I swear, I'm done with Marvel. If they
Well, you
kill
got to think.
if
Well,
they
here's the
kill
thing.
Ant-Man in this movie, I'm done with Marvel.
Ugh. I don't think they will.
Ant-Man, I'm out.
Well, here's the thing with Kang. There are multiple versions of him. Like
Yes, I know,
so,
but this is his big bad version, and that's the version we all want to see rip Thanos' spine out.
Well,
That's for another podcast.
that'd be very fun to watch. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment.
Tell us if we should do change the podcast style. We should just
Yeah. Yeah, because with the dead period of sports coming up, I mean, we're gonna need stuff to talk about. And I mean, the three of us, obviously, when we're together, we can come up with whatever.
we
Not
could
maybe not suitable for the internet, but we can definitely come up with
on every
stuff.
Star Wars movie if you wanted to.
Yeah. But let us know what you think of the episode, and y'all enjoy your Super Bowl weekends. Stay safe and have fun.
Go Lions.
I'm Aaron Klinker. This is Andrew Schultz, and we are out.